Hi everyone, my name's Caitlin and I will be taking you through a 20-minute postnatal routine today. So all you need is yourself and your mat, and we'll get set up in our 4-point kneel. So if you want to come to your tabletop position, hands down underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath your hips. And let's just start to move through a few cat and cow stretches. So as you inhale, let your belly fall and your chest open. Take your gaze forward. And as you exhale, scoop through the belly, round through the spine, pressing the hands into the mat, drawing your chin up toward your chest. Inhale, let the belly dip, the chest opens, the eye line gazes forward. And as you exhale, scoop through the belly, round through the spine, chin to chest. So as you find that scooping through the belly, feel that your belly button is pulling up toward your spine. You feel the sensation of your abdominals knitting back together. And then maybe you take some circular motions, if that feels good, through the center, over to one side, and then over to the other side, rounding through the spine, coming back to center, and then let's open our right arm, open to the right, find that rotation, reach the fingertips to the sky, and then thread the needle, reach that right arm all the way through. Big breath in as you open. Big breath out as you thread. Just enjoy that movement into your back, rotating through the thoracic. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. Let's hold it there for a moment. Let your shoulder and your ear drop to the mat if that's comfortable. You might reach your left arm forward, or you might even bind it behind your back. Open up a little bit more. And then just unraveling, taking that left hand back underneath your left shoulder. Big breath in as you lift up. And taking that right hand back underneath you. Left arm reaches to the sky as you take an inhalation. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, thread. One more time. Lifting up, rotating through the thoracic, and then threading the needle, letting your shoulder and your ear drop if that feels okay. Maybe reaching your right arm forward or finding a bind with that top arm. Feel that breath into your back. And then place that right hand back down. One more time, we open that left arm up to the sky, and then take the left hand straight back down underneath the shoulder. Tucking the toes behind us, take an inhalation in your neutral spine, and as you exhale, hover those knees gently off the mat. Feel your belly zip up toward your spine. Inhale as you tap the knees, you might take a little reset, and then exhale, zip up through the belly, hover the knees. Now you can keep this slow, or you can start to tap and lift. Little tap and lift. So it's just a knee hover, not letting your hips come up too high at all. Feeling your core engaged. Feeling the rib cage wrap in and downward toward your hip bones. Crown of the head lengthens toward the front of your mat. Let's go for another 4. You'll feel your quads start to activate here as well. In 3, that's it, really nice. Last 2. Last one, can you hold that hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then press those hips up to the sky. Find that downward dog stretch and start to pedal out those feet one at a time. You can let your head feel heavy, looking toward your heels, just walking through those feet for 8, 7, 6, 5, in 4, feeling that length down the back of your body. Last 2. Last 1, pressing both heels down, stretching all the way through the posterior chain, the back line. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, come into that 4-point hover. Inhale, hips lift to the sky. Exhale, find that little hover. Good, let's go for another 4. Hips to the sky, stretch through the back of the legs. Little hover, you can tap to reset if you need to, otherwise keep the knees lifted for 3. Little hover, tabletop spine. In 2. And last one, as you come into that hover, can you hold the hover there now? And let's start to take single knee taps. So you can start to add a little bit more of a twist here. Feeling into that rotation, starting to access your obliques. You've got another 8, 7, 6, 5, in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come through the center, untuck those toes. Really nice. Take those wrists, flip them over. Just give them a little stretch. And then bring your hands back down onto the mat. Let's move into a little tricep dip here. So stay in that tabletop position. The spine stays long and neutral as you drop your forearms down to the mat and then press down through your hands to come back up. Inhale, forearms to the mat. Exhale, pressing up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. So you shouldn't really feel any pressure through your core at the moment, just a gentle engagement for that slight lift up. But if you do want to start to work a little bit stronger, you can start to shift your body weight forward. So instead of dropping the forearms straight down, you pull the forearms toward your waist as you shift your nose just in front of your thumbs. So shift the weight forward, elbows hug in, and then press up. Good, go for another 4. Really nice. So you've got those 2 options. 3. Breathing, inhale down, exhale up. 2. Last one, let's hold halfway. Pull those elbows in wherever you are for 5, 4, 3, 2. Flare the elbows open, squeeze them closed. Flare them open, squeeze just for 6. Keep breathing, 5. In 4. In 3, can you bring that body weight forward a little bit more? 2. Last one, and press all the way up. Sit your bum back, come to your fingertips. Find that child's pose, sitting the bum back toward the heels, taking a gentle rock here. And then let's come to our right side. You can come onto your right hip. Yeah, come all the way down. Yeah. So all the way down, taking your head in your hand or lowering all the way down onto your side. Pull those shins forward so they align with the front edge of your mat, and then feel your top waist lengthen down toward the end of the mat as you feel that subtle engagement of your underneath waist lifting. Now, it might not lift off the mat, you just want to feel that subtle engagement, that sensation of it lifting. Keep that top hand on your hip or just down in front of you, and then start to lift your top leg up and down. Now, can you keep your top hip stacked? Roll it forward, more so than you even think you might have to. So we're not sitting back on the glute. We're lifting and lengthening. Feel as if there's a brick on that glute, that top glute. And you're lifting up and lowering down. Lifting up and lowering down. So you should start to feel this into your glute, your top glute. I'm aware you're probably watching me, which means you're doing the right leg is lifting and not the left leg. So I'm going to use top and bottom. Keep lifting through that underneath waist. We'll go for another 4 reps here. So it's not a big movement. Feeling that heavy brick on the top glute. In 2. In 1, hold the leg, little pulse lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. In 3, that's it, good. In 2. In 1, kick that leg long toward the end of your mat. Bend the knee in and tap it down. So a little lift, not too high. A big kick, squeeze through the back of the leg. Bend the knee and lower the leg. Another 6. We lift, extend. Try not to wobble through the hips. Stay lifted through the underneath waist. If your head is down on your arm, like I am right now, it helps you to align that neutral spine. If you're up, you may not feel as much of a lift through the waist. So either way. Good, so nice. Let's go for another 4. Really lengthen the heel bone toward the end of the mat. In 3, relaxing through your upper body. Good, starting to feel that burning sensation through the top glute if you're not already. Last one, lift, extend the leg, hold, little pulse, lift, lower, lift, lower. Now wrap that top hip forward even more, little roll forward so you're really getting into the glute rather than the hip. Let's go for another 8, 7, 6, 5, in 4. Good, that's it, in 2. Keep that leg long, point the toes. Now can you sweep the leg forward, flex the foot, sweep the leg back. Point the toes to sweep the leg forward, flex the foot to sweep the leg back. That's it, so nice. Let's go for another 6. You can bring your breath into this. We inhale to sweep forward, 5. Exhale to kick back. Good, in 4. Try not to move through the spine. 3, you're just moving from that hip joint. Last 2. Good, this time as you sweep the leg forward, turn the toes to the floor, flex that foot, little pulse. Ooh, feel the fire now. Another 8 pulses. 7, in 6, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, well done. Tap it out if you need to, and then roll onto your spine. It starts off easy, and then it gets spicy. Bring those heels down onto the mat, bending through your knees, and you can take your hands down by your sides, pulling those heels close to your bum. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, tuck your tailbone and peel your spine off the mat as if you're peeling a sticker off the mat. So nice and slow as you press those feet into the floor. Feel your thigh bone pull down toward your knee, and feel your knees pull over to your toes. And then without letting your rib cage flare, can you squeeze through the glutes a little bit more? Find that lift through the bridge. Slowly roll down. Feel your upper, middle, and lower back come back onto the mat. Beautiful. Reset at the bottom, big breath in. And then exhale, lifting up. And slowly lowering down. So you're trying to move through your spine, bone by bone by bone, gently pressing those feet into the mat. If you do want to challenge your balance a little bit more, just reach those arms up to the sky. You can float them up with your hips and then float them down with your hips. So you're engaging your core as you come down. You're moving through the spine one bone at a time. Let's go just 2 more. Again, not flaring the ribs, keeping the rib cage wrapping downward. The next time we lift up, can you hold at the top and just hug those elbows down to the mat? Little robot arms if you're choosing to use your arms. Now keep that natural arch in your low back. As you inhale, tap the bum down as you reach those arms up. As you exhale, press through the feet, lift those hips, pull the elbows down. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Let's do another 8. So you're feeling that hinge now as you lower and lift. In 7. In 6, pressing down into those feet. In 5. Good, you're doing so well. Keep pressing down so you feel those hamstrings really active. Heels pull close to your bum. Last 2. Last 1, holding at the top, little pulse lift. You've got 10. 9, just from the glutes. Keep the rib cage hugging down. In 6, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your elbows back onto your mat, maybe even your hands for a little bit more support. Ground down through those upper arms, and then bring your right leg into tabletop. Try not to let your hips wobble. Take your right foot down. Bring your left leg into tabletop. Good, so nice. Let's march it out. You've got another 6. In 5, keep the pelvis as is. If you need to take your fingers to your hip bones there, you can just gently hold yourself up. 2 to go. And last one. And lower all the way down. Well done. Now you can either roll over to the other side, or if you're still wanting to face me, just turn around so that your head is down the other end of the mat. We're coming all the way down, bringing our knees in line with our hips and our shins parallel to the mat. So make sure you're doing the other leg. We don't want to do the same leg twice. Flexing through those feet if you can here. And we start just by lifting and lowering that top leg. So again, feel as if there's a brick on your top hip here. So that brick is really weighing you down. So you're stacking those hips and you're just lifting and lowering from there. So we're not fully opening the knee. It's not a clam. It's a 90-degree lift and lower. Good, and then can you draw that top hip downward toward the end of your mat as you feel the sensation of your underneath waist lifting up off the mat. Good, really nice. And just breathe here. No tension through the neck or the jaw. Let's go for another 6. In 5. Good, check in with your underneath waist. Just feeling that subtle lift. So it doesn't physically have to lift as long as you're feeling the sensation. Last 2. Good, last one. Keep the leg lifted, little pulse. Now that brick is heavy. You can even take your top hand and place it right behind that top glute there and really almost push it forward. Whew, yeah, that's where the burn comes in. Another 6. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep the leg there. Extend the leg all the way and then bend the knee back to 90 and lower it down. So we lift, big kick, extending that heel toward the end of the mat, bending back to tabletop and lowering the leg down. You've got another 8. Big kick, bend and lower. For 7, good. Feeling that length through the top waist, particularly when you kick the leg. So as you kick the leg, feel as if your top waist pulls away from the crown of your head. 5 to go. Good, in 4. Really nice. 3 more. Good, whew, feeling that burn now. 2 more. Last one, as you kick that leg away, can you hold it there, little pulse. Lift, lower, 8, 7, 6, 5, in 4, 3, 2. Now final set here, point those toes, sweep the leg forward, flex the foot, sweep the leg back. Point, sweep forward, flex, sweep back. Good, 8 to go. Point, sweep forward, flex, sweep back. You have 7. Keep lengthening through the top waist. Now there's no movement through the low back, so you're just moving that high kick from the hip. Good, really nice. 4 to go. Lengthen and extend. Flex through the hip. Good, 2 more. That final time we sweep the leg forward, can you turn the toes to the floor, flex through the ankle there? We pulse, lift and lift. You have 8, in 7, in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Bring it in, tap it out if you need to. And then again, we'll just roll onto our spine and finishing with a little core set. 20 minutes is just the perfect amount of time, isn't it? Hands are down by your sides, upper body resting on the mat. Let's just start here by taking a big breath in. You might take your hands to your belly, feel it expand. And as you exhale, just feel as if you're stitching your abdominals back together at the center. So either side of the rectus abdominis. We want to feel both sides pulling back right into our midline. And one more time, big breath in. And a full breath out. Now hold on to that engagement. Arms are down. Lift right leg to tabletop and lower it down. Left leg comes to tabletop. Can you feel that same sensation through your center? Now you can just stick with this. Little leg lifts up and down. That might feel like enough. If you want more, instead of starting from the floor, start from your tabletop and then go for your toe taps. We tap and lift. Tap and lift. And maybe you take the palms of your hands back onto your belly and just feel whether it wants to dome a little bit. Feel whether you want to lift your lower back. You might need to work in slightly more of an imprint. That's okay. You can keep your lower back imprinted into the mat. We'll go for another 8 here, either lifting and lowering the leg or lowering and lifting the leg. In 6, 5, in 4, 3, really nice, just focusing on your breath for 2. Last one, legs come back to tabletop. Can you open those arms out into a cactus shape here and just let those legs fall a little over to one side. Press into that arm that you're falling toward and then use your abdominals to pull you back to the center. Try to stay at that 90-degree angle as you fall to the side and pull back in. If that feels okay, if you are feeling a little bit stronger, maybe you fold almost all the way over, hovering those knees just off the floor, and then using those obliques to come back in through the center, and then over to the other side, just off the floor, and back in. Good, so it might be just a little quarter fall, it might be halfway, 3/4, all the way. See how you go. And we'll just take one more on each side. Good, inhale as you let the legs fall, exhale to come back to the center. And as you come back to the center, gently just press those feet back down into the mat. Take those hands back to your belly, take a big breath in. And as you exhale, gently feel your rib cage wrap toward your hip bones and find a little curl here, taking your gaze between your thighs. You can take those palms, reach your arms long, and just a little pump of those arms. So feeling the rib cage wrapping, sliding downward toward your hip bones. Maybe you lift up a little bit higher if that feels good through your center. A little pump through the arms. This is it to finish. Let's go for 20. Good, breathing in, breathing out. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way down. And then stretch those arms overhead, stretch those legs out in front of you. Feel that little bit of expansion through your front. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bring those knees in, give yourself a little squeeze. And maybe you take, if it feels okay, a few little rock and rolls to come up. Otherwise, just make your way all the way up to a seat. And you are all done. Well done, and I will see you soon. Bye.